The problem is that your brain cannot distinguish between a failure due to pure lack of skills and lack of capacity to win and a failure because you did not try. Many times I sat down and wondered what makes other people do great things and why I feel like I could never do those things. How can some people do extraordinary feats, make tons of money, have the people they want around them? And to me, that all sounds completely unachievable, out of the question. For a long time, I thought it was something fundamentally wrong with me, that I could never get it. It was maybe something organic, something in my brain, whatever. Thankfully, I never gave up. For some reason, there was an inkling of tryhard in me that even though I felt that I could never make it, I just moved on. I continued working and working and working. And through immense tryhard and grind, I managed to get some results. Results not extraordinary by any sense of the imagination, but results nonetheless. Results that I never thought I could achieve, not in a million years. Results that 6 months ago would seem unbelievable to me. And when I had them, when I hold them in my hands, I thought to myself, how can this be? I truly thought I could never have this. Truly thought I could never do this. How can I have such a strong belief and yet be wrong? And what else am I wrong about? Why is my mind lying to me? Why would your mind lie to you? Your mind is supposed to be your ally. It lives in your skull, after all. It should want you to succeed, not fail, not avoid opportunities. Yet it makes complete and logical sense. Your brain evolved a long time ago, and for most of our evolutions as humans, we used to have a very different lifestyle for which our brain is adapted for. There's two fundamental differences to the way we used to be compared to how we are today. Two very big differences in our environment that completely change how adapted our brain is for today. Those two changes are one, that things back then used to be a lot more high stakes. You took one wrong decision and you were dead. There was there was no second chances. You did not see the eyes in the bush in the dark. The tiger ate you. You picked a fight with the wrong person, you died. You got with the wrong girl, they killed you. It was not all fun and games. But today, you don't really have that much to risk. A wrong decision can lead to some social humiliation, it can lead to you losing some months of savings. But you are a 20 something year old, you don't really care about all this. It's not really going to be the end of the world. It's not really that high stakes. Your mind does a calculation every time you think about something you want. It makes a calculation that tries to do a risk reward analysis to determine whether you're going to achieve what you want or whether you will fail. And based on how likely it believes you're going to succeed, it's going to make you feel motivated. It's going to give you all those great feelings you get from time to time. And if it believes you're going to fail in whatever endeavor you're going on, it's going to fill you with negative emotions and the belief that you're not going to make it and you should not try at all. Back then, that made complete sense. It was perfectly adapted for one single reason. Back then, there was no laziness. There was not anybody that did not try their best. When the lion is chasing you, when you have one in a million chances to procreate, when it's get the food or starve, there is no I did not do my best. Everybody did their best, and when you failed, you knew that you failed because it was too hard actually, objectively. Com- Contrast this to nowadays. Nowadays, you have a lot of opportunities around you. and you have a lot of things that you have endeavored in, a lot of things that you have tried. But most of those things you failed, and most of those failures were not a matter of skill and of capacity. They were a matter of not trying hard enough. The opportunity was there, but there were more opportunities out there, and you're not really feeling it that day. Maybe you skipped the gym, you did not work as hard on the business that failed. You did not really try to talk to those girls, whatever it is. But whatever it is, the point is that you did not really try, so you failed. The problem is that your brain cannot distinguish between a failure due to pure lack of skills and lack of capacity to win, and a failure because you did not try. That leads us to you having a backlog, a 1,000-page book of all your failures mostly because of lack of trying, that in your brain, in your mind, they register simply as failures. There's no footnote saying that you did not really care about it, just failed. And all these wins, rare as they are, and failures accumulate into the calculation that outputs the feelings you have throughout the day. Every time you think about starting a new business or being the most confident guy in the room or getting a girl that actually loves you no matter what you do, or even having the body of an Instagram model, every time you think about that, you get a feeling that you could never. There's people that do it, but that's not you. And the sole reason you get that feeling is because of all those failures. Your mind, logically, to an extent, calculated and told you that you could not even get some decent fucking abs. You can't talk to a random girl on the street. You don't have the discipline to work on a side hustle for 7 days in a row. Of course, you're not going to be a millionaire. Of course, you're not going to have a 10 out of 10 that loves you. Of course, you're not going to have the body of a superstar. It's a given. To your mind, it's very simple. So when you think that you're going to take your diet hard this time, and you're going to do your cold approaches, and you're going to work so fucking hard on your business, your brain instantly reacts to that. It reacts by making you feel demotivated because it thinks that you're not going to make it after all. Even if you try your best, you're not going to make it because you have failed all those times in the past. It fails, though, to recognize that all your losses are because you did not try. Yet you feel exactly how you would have felt if you lost fair and square because you did your best and you just couldn't make it. Alright, Theo. All this sounds very nice. But what do I do now? Every time I think of my goals, even if they're small, I feel extremely demotivated. Yet this heavy feeling in my chest that no matter what I do, I could never, ever, ever make it. Well, as I said, this is normal. It is to be expected. And that is the key here. The reason that you could not overcome this to this point, and the reason you are going to overcome this at this time, is because right now you know exactly what is happening. You have those feelings, but now you know why you have those feelings, and you finally know that those feelings are completely unbased. There's no truth behind them. It's just the way you feel when you give up on a bunch of things over a long, long time. And giving up is not a lack of skill, it's not a lack of capacity, it is just the mere fact that you gave up. And the more you do it, the more you give up because the worse you feel about yourself and you feel that you're not going to make it and you give up more. It's just a loop, but it is an unbased loop. There is no truth behind it. And now that you know that, every time you start something and you get that heaviness in your chest, that it is not meant for you, you can simply disregard it. You can say to fuck off, because that's not you. That's just a feeling generated by your mind because of the things you have done in the past. And it's simply just that. Nothing more, not an accurate prediction, nothing. Just feelings generated by bullshit. Start on the right foot this time. Every time you get a thought, disregard it. You're going to get better at it. There's going to come a time when the very rare occasion of a thought like that pops up, you're simply going to laugh at yourself. God bless.